Hi, welcome to Dwayne's Guitar Lessons. I'm instructor Dwayne Jenkins. In today's video, we're going to be discussing a book that I wrote called Learn Guitar Chord Theory. It teaches you about guitar chords. So if you want to learn about that, stick around and I'll show you what it's about. Alright, so what we're going to be talking about today is this book right here. It's called Learn Guitar Chord Theory, a book I authored and published. It's available on Amazon. And what it is it teaches you about guitar chords. So like if you've ever seen something online, you're maybe looking at a song and it says something like C/G or G sus2 or maybe even like A7 add 9 and you say, well, what is that? This book right here is going to show you what it is and how to form it. Because I've had some students ask me about guitar chord theory, and so I decided that I would write a book on it. And as you can see, it's kind of a thick book, a lot of stuff involved in it. So let's take a look. Table of Contents, Chapter 1 goes over the guitar chord foundation, which shows us the triads. Those are your foundation of chords, are your triads. So you definitely want to make sure that you master those, okay? And that's what this first chapter is about. It's the major triad, the minor triad, the augmented triad, the diminished triad, and you also get some exercises as well. The book shows you how to read the chord charts. Then I present to you the chords and chord charts. The chord charts right there. And then I also give you some exercises that you can fill out so that way you make sure you know the triads. Very, very important. You definitely want to know the triads because those are the foundation of all your guitar chords. And we have sus and 6 chords. We have our suspended triads. We have major 6 chords, minor 6 chords, and suspended 6 chords. And then once again, chord exercises. So what this is going to do is going to show you how to expand on the triad, because the triad is your foundational building blocks of chords. So once you do that, it's kind of like building chords, it's kind of like building a house or building something with bricks, okay? Each brick adds to it and creates a bigger chord, okay? So each note is like a brick and you add it to the triad and it creates additional chords. Okay, so major 6 chords, minor 6 chords, suspended 6 chords, all right? Now, chapter 3, we go over 7th chords. 7th chords are very, very popular in a lot of songs, so I would highly recommend that you get down your 7 chords, okay? Your major 7s, your minor 7s, your dominant 7s, your suspended 7s. That's what chapter 3 goes over, and once again, I give you some 7 chord exercises to fill out so that way you understand that you know these chords, okay? Very, very important. Okay, chapter 4 goes over 9th chords. So that's the next type of chord. We have major 9ths, minor 9ths, dominant 9ths, suspended 9ths. I show you how to form the chord. I show you how to read it with the chord charts, and I give you some exercises that you can make to fill out in the book to make sure that you fully understand these chords, because they're once again popular in a lot of songs. And then chapter 5 we go into 11th chords. Once again, major 11ths, minor 11ths, dominant 11ths, suspended 11ths, and once again some exercises to make sure that you fully understand these chords. Now think about up here to chapter 5 how many chords you've learned, you know, if you go through this book. You've learned your major, minor triads, you've learned suspended, you've learned dominant, you've learned augmented, you've learned all kinds of 6s and 7s and 9s and 11s, all kinds of chords. I mean, your chord vocabulary is going to be huge by the time you get to chapter 5. And we still have chapter 6, which is our 13 chords. Okay, did you know there was 13 chords? There is. Very popular like in jazz, stuff like that. Major 13th chord, a minor 13th chord, dominant 13th, suspended 13th, and the way these chords are created by just adding certain notes of the key together to create these extended chords. These are like extended chords, but once again, the foundation is based off the triads. So make sure that you master those triads. Chapter 7, inversions and extensions. So you have chord inversions where let's say maybe the 3rd is in the bass or the 5th is in the bass, the 6th or the 7th in the bass, the 9th is in the bass. Okay, those give you even more chords. They're inverted triads, which give you a different type of sound, a different type of emotion. So you want to learn that as well. You have chord extensions. Okay, like I mentioned that chord earlier, the you know, A7 add 9. That's a chord extension. You're making the A7 chord, then you're adding an extension to it of the 9. It tells you about how to do that. 6-9 chords, where you have the 6 and the 9 in there to create these 6-9 chords. And then once again, how many chords? We have some chord progressions and then chords within a key. Very, very important to know, especially if you're writing songs. This kind of stuff really helps you out a lot if you're writing songs. Kind of lets you know what chords to work with and what chords will go well together in harmony. Okay? And then chapter 8, we have the infamous bar chords. Bar chords, you know, if you've been playing guitar for a while, you've heard of bar chords, maybe even try to play them. So we have our root 6 bar chords, our root 5 bar chords, single finger bar chords, power chords, and bar chord exercises. So once again, giving you some exercises to work with these chords and make sure that you fully understand them. You write it in the book, because reading and writing is very important. You don't want to just read, you don't want to just watch like video like this. If you could actually take out pen and paper and write some stuff down, and I would highly recommend that with theory. It's going to make you to visualize it in your mind and understand it a lot better. That's why our fundamental, you know, things that we learn in school is how to read and write, because they kind of go hand in hand with each other. Okay. Then we have our guitar chord quiz that I give you to make sure you fully understand all this stuff, because there's a lot of information in this book about all these chords. So I give you a bit of a learning assessment to make sure that you fully understand it. And it's just something for yourself to make sure you understand the material. And then of course the conclusion, and then I mentioned some other books that I've written in this series. But as you can see, there's a lot of things in this book, and it's written in a very simple step-by-step format. Here's some like exercises that you would fill out to, you know, what is the B major chord, the C9, the D9 sus4, the E9, the F minor 9, G9 sus4, you know, stuff like that. And that's all within this chapter. So you read the chapter, you learn the chords, you go through and you write them down. Okay? And as you can see in here, I have all kinds of chord diagrams. So it's not just a book of chord diagrams, it's a book that shows you exactly what the chords are and how to form them on your guitar and how to read them in chord charts. Because I would highly recommend you learn how to read chord charts. Chord charts are very, very popular, especially if you're going to accompany maybe a piano player or something like that, because piano players always look at sheet music, and when they're looking at their sheet music, they usually have the chord charts on the top for like guitar accompaniment. So if you understand how to read those chord charts, you can accompany the guitarist. I'm sorry, you can accompany the pianist as a guitarist, okay? All right, so that's what you want to learn. If you want to learn how to do chord guitar theory, I would highly recommend check out this book. I'll leave you a link below on where you can find it on Amazon. It's a great book, as you can see. It's got a lot of pages here, and it leads you step by step. And what I like about method books is method books are great because they allow you to learn at your pace. You know, it's a self-study, kind of do-it-yourself kind of thing. That's how I kind of got started learning, was doing it myself, as long before, way before the internet. So what I found was method books really worked for me because they offer a step-by-step system of learning. You learn like this one I was telling you, you learn the triads, then you learn your next chords, and they build upon each other, and then you get a very efficient system of learning, and you learn a lot quicker, and you get better results that way. And I would also recommend that you try a method book because of the fact that what's great about methods books too is that you can learn whenever you want to. It works at your pace. You can go slow, you can go fast, you can do whatever you want to do, and you have the material for life, and it's an affordable way to learn. Okay? So, if you're interested in learning guitar chord theory, I would recommend check out this book. It's going to show you step by step, an easy system, how to develop your guitar chord vocabulary. And before you know it, you're going to be creating all kinds of emotions with your guitar. So thanks so much for being here. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, leave me in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. And I'll probably be doing some video lessons out of this book to explain further what it has to offer. Okay, so be sure to watch for that. You have yourself a good one, and I'll see you at our next lesson.